Hi, it's the 24th of October 2018 at 8 p.m. Today's background comes to you from suggestion by DB Cooper. It's a game that he told me about. I think it looks pretty cool myself. Before I launch into today's subject, I just want to do a quick update on this Antifa situation in Portland. Remember I was telling you about the story where the Antifa guy comes up behind the woman. She's got her husband was a 9/11 victim, and he jabs her in the back and says, you're blocking my way. And she turns around to him and says, look, and that's right. She said, yeah, there's no need to punch me. And he said, no, I won't punch you like your dropkick husband did. And she turned around and she said, my husband died in 9/11. And he says, well, isn't that his bad luck? He was a real narc creep. Yeah, so anyway, what happened is it obviously upset a few people, and they found him, and he lost his job over it. Which personally is fair enough. Even if he was doing it to a guy, if he's doing it to anybody, it's just, I wouldn't want him working for me. Yeah, but it gets better, because what happened is the press got hold of it, and they were the left press, and they were really indignant that because they tried to contact the woman for comment. They couldn't get her, so they started researching, and they couldn't find anybody with her name in the 9/11 victims. So they started accusing her of lying about that, and that this poor guy lost his job because of her lies. And so they changed it around. I laughed. I thought, what's it got to do? She could say anything she liked. It didn't matter. The guy was actually on camera. It was, and I'll put the link to the video, this video, in the description, and you can have a look at it. Yeah, but they're trying to accuse her. That's narcissism. Can you see what I'm driving at? It's insane. But I think it's rather funny, actually. I think it's funny. But I was telling this to a friend, talking about Antifa and Portland and that sort of thing, and he says, "What's Antifa?" And the guy is fairly bright. He's older, but he's fairly. I said, "Antifa, the left wing. Never heard of them." I said, "Huh?" He said, "No, I've never heard of it." So it's been around for 2 years. They've been having that ever since Trump won. Well, I wouldn't have a clue what you're talking about. So I went to another neighbour and said, "You've heard of Antifa, haven't you? Know what it is?" "Who?" "Antifa. The left-wing radical. The causing the riots, and they want to kill all the Nazis." Never heard of it. So I told a couple of stories, and today the second guy said, "I think you're making this up." "Are you kidding, aren't you?" So I was at the supermarket today, and I asked another guy. I said, "You ever heard of Antifa?" "No, never have." So there's a total press block out on it here. Nobody's heard. These are all TV watchers. Okay, they don't use internet. They don't come on YouTube. Yeah. And I was gobsmacked. I just thought, we're living in different worlds. But anyway, that wasn't the. That's just I wanted a little side story. I think it's interesting to follow. As I said, I put a link to that story in the description. You can have a look at it yourself. But look, on a brighter note, I want to be fair here. The other day, I discussed a video and a comment by a woman, and I made the point that they're just not supportive of us at all, and this is why we mgtow. We come here because this is what you get all the time. Just put downs, shaming, guilt tripping, whatever. But none of it's positive. Now, to be fair, I got a comment yesterday, also from a woman, Jodie Hanson. Okay, and it's completely the opposite. I'm not saying at no stage does she piss in our pocket and say, "I understand mgtow." She doesn't say any of that. Her dealings are with me, one-on-one. Now this is how usually I am with men. Okay, We're usually one-on-one. It's me and him. Okay. And what she does here in her first comment, she starts off, she's selling an idea to me. She's listened to my videos and she's cognizant of what is happening, what I'm talking about, where my interests are, and she's taken that and she's tried to, or she's selling, and done a very good job of it actually. Sold an idea to me. So she's wrapped it. She's listened to. She's followed me for a while now, and she's taken a view, and she's pitched an idea to me. And that's what guys do together. All right. We often do that. We sort of. This one was particularly good. She's taken in everything, and she's pitched an idea that it really got me going, got me thinking straight up. I'll read it to you if you don't mind. She says, aside from mgtow, you should seriously look into creating a new YouTube account dedicated to narcissism and cluster B disorders, as you seem very well versed and knowledgeable about this very relevant topic, and I think you do very well. Just a suggestion. I mean, how smooth is that? Really? That none of the, you know, oh, your hair's thinning and you've got this twangy voice and oh God, you're hopeless and put down. No, it's very, and she's right. It's something that I would actually like to do. I don't think I'd be very good at it. I don't have any qualifications in it or what have you, but I would like to do it, and I probably will. And I think it would be useful. It is, and that's what I really believe. You know, my problem, I think I made it very clear, I'm against narcissism. I'm not against women, you know, or anything else. It's narcissism. That's basically my problem. But her comments were directed to me, one-on-one, and I really think this is half the problem that we're facing with women, is we've got this team thing. And when it's us and them, look, I covered this in a whole bunch of videos earlier on. Narcissism, when you get into the narc zone, it's us and them. And that could be mgtow and as well, okay? Once you start talking on behalf of mgtow, you're in the narc zone. You've dragged yourself into the narc zone. You know, the idea is it's an individual thing. And she's done this very nicely, and it's just her and me, all right? Which is, I just haven't had a comment like that from a woman. I don't think ever. But I'll go on so yeah, she goes on to say, yeah, I think you'd be a natural at it, and given the sheer size and magnitude of this narc plague, there's certainly a lot more room for high quality content creators on the subject. See, so she's still selling, as I said, yeah, I've been thinking about it, that sort of thing. So she's sort of following it through, doing a nice job of, doing a very, very nice selling job actually, and very good writer. I'm impressed, very impressed. And it's, you know, it's a nice follow, and it keeps going, and it's further down. You can read it yourself on, I'll just tell you the number. It's, you can follow the conversation yourself, 328. Okay. Hang on, where is she going? Here, wait a minute. Yeah, and then she goes on to talk about narcissism. And she says malignant narcissism is so ubiquitous in today's day and age. No doubt it's been around for eons, but I feel the degree of which this scourge is affecting society has been ratcheted up to a whole new level. I see variation of this cluster B personality disorder literally everywhere. In the workplace, in family, government, etc. I've even noticed narc traits within my own character, which I'm embarrassed to admit. I believe the social engineers and our overlords, power elite, have created this narc epidemic. I mean, that's everything I believe too. So, you know, that helps, I guess. I mean, it's what I agree with everything. She's basically reflecting my own thoughts. But it's more than that. She has the ability to initiate a conversation without, I mean, she started the whole thing, you know, I think you should do this, which is in a sense a reaction to what I'm doing, but it's a positive one. It's not a negative thing, you know, you've got this stuffed up, or this is wrong, you've done this wrong, you know, which is so boring and tedious now. I really can't stand it. But here is somebody who said, look, please consider doing this. And I mean, she just had me right from the get-go. Okay, and it was just, and I was reading it, and while I was dealing with it, I thought, you know, if all women were like this to a certain degree, you would not believe that the world would be such a different place. But just totally different. Now, there's no inequality there at all. It's her selling something to me, like a salesman sells to a customer. You know, is there any inequality there? Who's more equal there? Is the customer or the salesman? I'd say, you know, if you get it to work well, yeah, you're both on the same footing. So there's no, you know, I wasn't thinking that, you know, what would she know or anything else like that. It was a very positive, powerful, persuasive sales pitch she made to me that's in my benefit. And she'd obviously, you know, very intelligently sat back, watched me, studied me, and she's been there for a while. And when she made a move, she said, no, I think you should do this. And it makes a lot of sense. You know, that's. But if women could learn from that, oh, you just wouldn't believe it. That'd be just so different. You know, but they're pitching this idea of, oh, inequality and this and that, and so, you know, it's just it's really, we don't believe it anymore. We haven't believed it for years, and now they're accelerating the pace. We just don't believe it anymore. Women have had equality for years. You know, what's happening is they can't do what Jodie can do. They can't pitch an idea. They can't have they can't create a conversation with a man and keep it going. They can't do any of those things. All they can do is what they could do in 1930, and they're still doing it. And they'll throw everything at us, and tell us, you know, oh, we're doing this wrong, that wrong, something else, and get us on the defensive, which is just useless. Okay, it's absolutely useless to them. It's useless and annoying and infuriating to us, to the point we don't want anything to do with them. But hell, you know, if you got comments like this from a person who watched you for a while and considered what you were saying and thought, no, I think you'd be good at it, I mean, what more do you want? I would do it for a woman as well. You know, that's how it should, you know, bounce both ways. You know, it's what more do you want? You know, I think it's exciting. It's just, when she came along, I must admit, I've been feeling a bit down the last few days. I was just, I don't know, just all of this, everything's just getting too much. And she came along like that, and it was a real lift. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a woman like that? You know, and you'll think, oh, I'll have to try harder for her, and I would anyway. Yeah, because I mean, that's how it works. It's the building of synergy, but don't build synergy. We just rip one another to pieces. But look, she even sort of, you know, she's admitted that she has some narc traits herself, which I think is brilliant. I mean, I've found that I did too. We all have them. You know, this is why I set up the diagram I had. So you didn't have to confess. You didn't have to say, oh, I'm a narc or anything. I was like, no, you just removed anything that was narcissistic. You know, in your conversation. So if you found yourself criticising people or being abusive or anything, just don't do it. Yeah, and then you paint yourself into a corner so that you have to do stuff like this, where you sell ideas, or you be entertaining, or you do, you know, positive things. But we're forever allowing ourselves to be dragged into the narc zone, and women are just dragging us into the narc zone. But yeah, you know, the idea is to get out of it, and this is why you're here in mgtow. You're getting away from it. But if women were like this, honestly, if they were like this, you wouldn't be here. There'd be no mgtow. It'd just disappear like that. Guarantee you, because you'd be happy. And look at go and have a look at it. Her writing is excellent. You know, this is what I would expect. So I keep thinking, you know, so many college-educated women here. You know, you all had to write papers and that sort of thing. And you know, I will write, you know, a couple of paragraphs or something, and I get any number of women say, "Oh God, do you want me to read all that?" And I really feel like I'm talking to ditsies. You know, and then someone like Jodie comes along and it's uplifting, it's positive, and you think, oh gee, there's hope for the world. You know, it's just, I don't know what she looks like, I don't know how old she is. I keep wondering, I've even tried to look up whether Jodie's male or female, because I haven't heard a female talk like that. You know, and she just doesn't, it sounds more like a male, to be honest. But I don't know what she looks like, I don't know how she is. You know, I'm just going on her thought patterns. I'm impressed. And I really think if women could be like her, if they could start thinking like that, just get rid of the us and them mentality. Even just get rid of some things. That's all you really need to do. You know, narcissism is easy to destroy. You can't actually... Narcissism, I'm sorry, I know I go on and on about it, but it's like alcoholism. Okay? The difference is you can't see. Like, if you can see a glass in your hand, yeah, you know, your chances are you're having a drink, right? And if you've sort of admitted you're an alcoholic and you've got a drink in your hand, yeah, then it's called you've fallen off a wagon, all right? You're having a drink. Well, it's a bit hard to know when you've fallen off the wagon with narcissism, unless you, this is why I did my diagram, you know, where you, if you're abusing people, if you're accusing them of things, you know, certain things, you know, I listed them all out, I can't remember them now, but you know, if you're sort of aware that you're doing them, you think, well, okay, it looks like I've fallen off a wagon again, and if I'm arguing with somebody, even debating, yeah, you're in the narc zone, or well and truly on your way to it. You know, just get the hell out of there. And the easiest way to get the hell out of there is just don't do any of those things. I should put the diagram up again. Every time I do, sort of the numbers dwindle, everybody goes, oh, yawn. Yeah, I can't blame you. I mean, it's great for me personally, but that's how you get out of it. And that's all women would have to do, is just not do all the things they do. And then you paint it into a corner and you end up doing what Jodie did. You know, which is good, it's great, it's uplifting, and this is how we should be. You know, life's shitty enough without bloody tearing one another to pieces, but if people will say that sort of thing, you know, you'd be tripping, you know, you'd be thinking, oh wow, you know, life's wonderful. But that doesn't happen. You know, your hair's thinning, you've got this twanging accent, you've got this wrong with you, that wrong with you, don't follow your point, you know, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, and thank you. But I don't really mean that, because I say thanks to Jodie because she gave me a lift. It was just good, made me think, Yep, makes you think, okay? Because she looks in and you think, yeah, got me thinking, yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, I'd like to. Got other things I want to do. But, you know, so I've got to juggle around with that. But, yeah, she's saying, and it inspires confidence. And you think, yeah, I'd like to try it. Let's try this, try that, try something else, you know, anything to help. Why can't women be like that? It's not that bloody hard. Yeah, but nobody can. I think Jodie's about the only person who's ever written like that to me. I mean, I'm a writer. I taught myself to write. I'm very, you know, I watch all the punctuation and that sort of thing. I was most impressed. Extremely impressed, actually. Anyway, that's yeah, on 328, I think it was, the one before this one. It's worthwhile having a look at. I think she's good. At 328, yeah. She's not saying, oh yeah, I think mgtow are wonderful, which I'm not going to believe, and you guys aren't going to believe. No, because that in itself is an us and them mentality. She's here, she's just talking to me. Just her and me. Yep. And I would say, yep. And I think most of the people that follow me say, yeah, Bob, you're always on about narcissism. Yeah, I think she's got a point. You'd agree with her, I'd reckon. You'd say, yeah, no, I think, and I've had other people talk about it as well, but she just got me. She sold it to me beautifully. Nice job, actually. I just wish, why can't other women do it? I don't know, it's just get rid of all the negative things and just leave the positive ones. Anyway, it's been good talking to you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.